Automation and AI are the buzzwords of the decade. But let's be honest, most of the advice out there feels like it's meant for billion-dollar companies, not everyday businesses like ours. It's confusing, overwhelming, and it makes automation seem pretty out of reach. But here's the truth, right? You don't really need to be a tech giant or tech conglomerate to automate things effectively. So I'm here to make it simple for us, practical, and honestly quite doable. Businesses today are under a lot of pressure to be faster, smarter, and leaner. And without the right workflows, well, things tend to fall apart really quickly. That's where I step in. As a digital operations specialist for about 5 years, I help businesses set up systems that actually work without all of the fluff. But honestly, this applies if you're an individual, a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, or a small business. It honestly doesn't really matter. So think about your last inquiry, right? Someone filled in the form, booked a call, or clicked the link, whatever it may be. That's essentially their way of saying, hey, I'm interested. Now at this point, you engage, qualify, and determine whether or not they're a good fit for your business. And from here, there are essentially two outcomes. They either move forward or they don't. Simple, right? But behind the scenes, every piece of interaction generates data. And are you using that data effectively? Are you even capturing this information? Something for you to think about. Now, here's where the problem starts. Without a structured system, the data that you accumulate across the customer journey gets lost in the different tools that you deploy. One app holds contact information, another tracks interactions and meeting calendars and booking information. And before you know it, in order for you to understand who, why, and when and how the customer actually found you and interacts with you, you're having to dig together and piece together information from all sorts of different places. So to scale efficiently, you need one of two things: a central hub to store all of your customer data, or two, a bridge that connects your tools so that they communicate seamlessly together. That's where HubSpot or an app such as Zapier essentially comes in. They allow you to streamline everything, ensuring data flows smoothly between all of the different apps or in one nice compact space. So I'm going to walk you guys through an example, okay, that really illustrates the power of automation and what it can do for your business, saving time, remove mundane work, and a plethora of other things. Let's just say you sell courses, okay? You provide a service that has memberships or certifications. And after going through the whole shebang, you do your thing, your customers are happy, and you want to thank them by sending them a certificate for some reason. This certificate will include their name, the course name that they've completed, maybe the status, their rank within the class, something like that, right? Now, if you were to create this manually, say you've got 100 students, and it takes you 3 minutes to create one certificate, well, that's over 5 hours. 5 hours of manual work. That's crazy. But with automation, I'm going to show you something here that you can set up once, and then it will work forever in seconds. So let me walk you through how it's done. So it all starts at the very top of the customer journey. Typically, customer interacts with you via some sort of form. From here, they typically go into a CRM of such. This is what I typically recommend. A CRM such as HubSpot would be a good option. And forms could be a variety of different things, right? HubSpot has their own form builder as well, so that's taken care of. It could be something like JotForm, or it could be, Google Forms, for example, or whatever it is that you decide. From here, what we're going to be doing is sending that information across to Google Slides. That's where our certificate actually lives, okay? And then from there, we're going to then send it off through an email. So you have a form. What you then do is you capture some properties. So all of your customer information, their name, their email, their state, where they're at, their address, the course that they have picked, what grade they're in, these are all properties, okay? So these are extremely, extremely important. And throughout your customer journey, you need to be very deliberate when it comes to when and how you actually obtain these pieces of information, as well as updating them over time as your customer actually progresses through your journey itself. From here on out, I'm going to call all of these questions or data points as properties. You can capture some properties from the form. Then as you start to qualify them, you're going to start to update and capture all of these properties inside of your CRM. As you nurture them, as you start to take them through the journey, onboard them or whatever, you may or may not start updating some of these properties or adding new ones to help you further classify and categorize them inside of your business. Always constant update, rinse and repeat is important for data hygiene in general. Now, we're going to use a system like Google Slides to essentially then send some information across so that it will allow us to populate the information that's required on the certificate itself. So these two platforms actually talk to each other. We're going to use Zapier for this particular case, and then from there, Zapier is then going to take that information and then send it to an email provider of your choice, be it Gmail or HubSpot's inherent email builder as well. They have that, so you can do that. And then what that's going to do is send it across via email with the certificate attached to your customer base. And that's how the whole system essentially works. So whenever at any point in time, once the customer's in the journey or at the stage where they have officially graduated, you just simply update that properly on the contact record, and then that will then trigger and start off the process to then let Zapier know, hey, this particular contact is ready, let's do X, Y, and Z with them. So that's when it's going to initiate the whole flow of Zapier to send the information across to Google Slides, and then prepare that actual certificate itself, send it back to HubSpot, send it over to email, and then towards the customer. So depending on what you're actually using, the flow is going to look quite different, but similar in the overarching concept. All right, so this is the skeletal overview. Let's actually jump back to the computer and I'll show you in detail how it actually looks like. All right, we are back on the computer now. Let's start to really put some visuals to the whole thing. So what you're looking at here is HubSpot. All right, it's a centralized CRM where you can manage your entire customer base, all of their information, pipelines, opportunities, progress them through the different stages of your pipeline, all this sort of stuff. It can be done here in HubSpot. So in this particular case, you can see here that we have got a membership pipeline, okay, with just as one person. They have paid $150, and we're essentially trying to get them to be approved, essentially, right? So let's go into this deal right here. On the left-hand side, we can capture all of the information. This sidebar is where we keep all of our properties. So date of entry, let's just say they started in the 1st of January, you know, new year, new me, that sort of thing. Company name, he works for, what is this? Pearson Hartman, right? So Pearson Hartman. Membership group, he is a organization, and let's just say he passed with flying colors, so platinum. Okay, that's great. So that's all of the properties or data about this particular deal attached to this contact. So Harvey Specter has joined us and applying for some membership that we're doing, and he is now, you know, going through the process. So we can change this to, I don't know, waiting for approval or something, in progress. All right, essentially. So this is the place where we keep all the custom information. Now what we need to do, set up a workflow in Zapier to essentially wait for this particular person in HubSpot or our CRM to reach a certain stage, say graduated or finished, and then we're gonna enroll him or her into this workflow to then do certain actions that we determine in order for us to execute on that final creation of the certificate. So the very first thing here we're gonna do is we're gonna essentially wait, right? We're gonna wait for a deal property change. So in this case would be when a deal reaches complete, that's when Zapier will essentially pick up on that and move things forward. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna check to make sure that a particular property is known. So let's just say back here, we wanna know the date of entry. Like it has to be known, if not it won't go forward. And all of these other properties needs to be known before we progress it forward, so we can go ahead and do that. Then we're gonna find the deal. We're gonna find the deal using a record ID. We're gonna find this deal using a record ID. We're gonna find the contact, so we're able to pull in all of the information that is about the contact, like the name, like the email address, phone number, where they stay, address, for example. We can then pull it from there because we have located that object inside of Zapier. We need to tell Zapier and give Zapier all the information it needs to then populate and spit out on our certificate itself. Then we're gonna do some formatting because, you know, depending on where you are, you know, if you're weird, like you're in America, you wanna do month, day, and year, that's fine. But for the rest of the world, we wanna format it in a way that it's gonna be, you know, date, month, year, for example, okay? And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna send it across to Google Slides where we have a template ready to go. And once that's finished, the output essentially is going to be a export link. And once it has gone through all these steps, essentially what Zapier is going to do is shoot back into HubSpot a completed URL. And this URL essentially is the downloadable link for the PDF. Okay, it looks something like this, HTTPS, and then PDF, essentially a PDF format. So if you were to grab this PDF, you'll be able to put this into your browser and you'll essentially open up and give you an option to download this into your computer. From here, there are essentially two ways to do it, right? Again, like I mentioned before, HubSpot has its own inbuilt capabilities to send off emails to your contacts, or if you have something just like a Google Doc or whatever, you can essentially add a step to say, take this particular link, put it into a mail or Yahoo or whatever, and then send it off to the client. You can do that too. Now at the end of it, you look something like this. The recipient will essentially receive an email like this, and you say, hey, congratulations, you are now X, Y, and Z. Go ahead and download. So you can create a call to action inside of the email itself. When you click that, it actually, like I said before, it opens up in the browser, and you have this little download button. You can click on that and it just pops open. And you can see here inside of the certificate itself, you'll then have all of the properties that we have taken inside of HubSpot and chuck it in here. So it's customizable for the actual end recipient. So if it's Harvey Specter, for example, Harvey Specter's name will come up here. If it's me, you'll be here. If it's Brandon, you'll be here. Company name, address, organization, all of the properties that you've captured in your system can be automatically populated out here. So this is incredibly powerful, right? Because you can just update in bulk in your system that these 100 people have graduated and roll them into the workflow, and then from there it'll just spit out all of these emails with all of the certificates pre-populated with the information that you need and ready to be received, just like that. Alright, so that was pretty quick, but hopefully it gives you guys a broad understanding of what can actually be accomplished through workflows and automation. What I have done for you guys too is I've created a downloadable somewhere down there. I'll link it for you guys, where essentially you could walk through and learn exactly step by step how I set everything up. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, but that should give you a one leg up in exactly how I built this automation. It saved my client many hours in doing tedious manual work, and hopefully maybe perhaps it might save you some time as well. If you have any other questions, of course, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you, but that's it for today. Take it easy, guys. See ya.